Look, before we get into the content, it's really important that you guys hit that subscribe button. We're out here every single day working for y'all, trying to hit y'all with the best content. And what motivates us to keep going is people like you. So hit the subscribe button, join the conversation, join the Deuce Gang.
What he said.
Is it escorting if you convince an older gentleman? I'm talking old. I'm talking gray hair. I'm talking he can still get around, but this nigga's retired. Okay? I'm talking old. Is it still escorting if you convince that older gentleman to take care of you and pay your bills and lace you and all you got to do is just, entertain him once in a while? Is that still considered escorting?
Oh, that's rough, man. That's rough because the definition of escorting is I don't know. Is it selling the whole body? Is it being willing? Because I mean, if you're into that relationship, how far are you taking it? Right? Are you just sending pictures and nudes, or I'm assuming at some point there's got to be some nudity in front of the person, but I don't know how that works. It sounds like I know you're talking about the sugar daddy relationship. Clearly,
I'm talking about sugar daddy. Google is banning sugar daddy dating apps on their Play Store. Apps like this have about 30 days to comply with their new restrictions on sexual content, including a ban on compensated sexual relationships, i.e., sugar daddies. Uh, so the company's inappropriate consent policy, which already prohibits apps that promote sex-related entertainment or escort services, including but not limited to OnlyFans.
yeah. I mean, OnlyFans is being banned all over the place. They say they're not about. I love how they say they're not about pornography, but like most of their money is made from people selling like nudes and them. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. OnlyFans. You're in denial, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that. As far as Google focusing on the sugar daddies apps, I didn't know this was so much of a problem. Wow, this is something that they're really doing to try to protect themselves because even they admitted in the article that this is something that's is still going to happen
Exactly.
regardless of whether or not it's on Google Play. I feel like people are just going to create apps and just name them different things now. So
My concern, because this has happened since forever and will, as to your point, continue to happen, my concern is for these older gentlemen. Listen, man, if you've worked your entire life, just okay, take your mind out of the gutter for a second and just be reasonable. You've worked your entire life. You got married. You had your kids. You stayed faithful to your wife. You didn't trick, no nothing. Your kids are now fully grown. Your wife, your hypothetical wife, God rest her hypothetical soul, passes away. You alone, nigga, and you got all this bank, but you're still moving around. You're still, you know what I mean? You're not one of these retired dudes that just can't get out of bed. You can still move
yeah,
around. What is wrong with them getting a little 1-2 while they can? I don't see the problem with that. Now, to be clear, to be clear, to be clear, it has to obviously be consensual. You can't be slapping no kids. It's got to be, I mean, the legal age in some states can vary, but it's got to be semi quasi reasonable. But what I'm saying is, my issue with that for these older gentlemen is, how do they meet these women now? Because there was a time before the internet. What did guys do when they wanted a prostitute, an escort? Roll
I don't
down,
know. You tell us. You're experienced.
roll down. I'm not experienced, but they'll roll down to
You know
roll.
you know what the experience is though. Go ahead.
Well, I can tell you where I used to live on Kingston Road. They would be hanging out on the street, literally
Yeah.
on the street. So this is a 65-year-old. This guy's in his golden age with cash on him. This is the guy you want driving around in these neighborhoods where prostitutes are working the street. He's a mark. He's a victim. The great thing about this was he was able to get these relationships. By the way, develop these relationships, because who said it was, okay, let me get on this app, same night smash? No, you get on the app, you have your conversations, you get to know the person, and then whatever happens from there happens. So basically, by them removing this filter, you're putting, because it's still going to happen, to your point, you're putting these people in danger. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if it's that deep. I don't really think it's that deep. I think this sugar daddy thing, the only negative is you have a lot of females who do take advantage of the situation. Like
the guys know they're being taken. It's an exchange. When you go into
right.
When you go into the store and you bought that bench hoodie, did you feel like you were being?
I get it. But then you have certain situations like you have, like the Anna Nicole Smith situations where it's blatant, and the guy knows it. But you know what? It's unhealthy for them. It's unhealthy. There's a lot of things that people do that they feel is good for them, but it's unhealthy for them. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you should go spend it on somebody taking advantage of you. There's people out there that go find love. And you know what? Maybe they shouldn't be looking on these apps for 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds. And I get that they're in their 70s and 80s, and it's very difficult at that time to probably find somebody around the same age as you or something. But I mean, you should at least look for maturity. That's it. Just look for some type of maturity.
You're talking about love and you're talking about companionship. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
I'm assuming for these guys that's what it is. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm assuming for these guys that's how they convey love at this point. Because they can't convey it physically. Neither one of us are old enough to even understand the mentality, nor are we dumb enough to understand the mentality of somebody spending money on a female and not even getting laid in some cases. But there has to be something that these gentlemen all share in common to the point where they seek these women out. And I think stopping them from seeking these women out, it's not dangerous. I think it's healthy for them. Like, find like a 56-year-old, find a 40-year-old. Like, if they're willing to get with you, I don't know if they are, maybe they're not. But if there's 20-year-olds willing to get with you, there's got to be women who are older too. Why do I say that age? Because of maturity. Just touching back on that. Because at that point, they probably have a few kids. They're not looking just to scam you. They're going to take care of you.
Okay. Again, I want to be very clear about this. We're talking about two separate things here. I'm talking about a dude who's paid his dues as far as being a good guy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All he wants is a little bit of Freaknik before he takes the big dirt nap. And you're talking about love and maturity and
but you have to understand
that's all he's looking for.
Well, you have to understand that there's sugar daddies that don't have sex with the girls that they're dealing with at all. Sex.
And that's fine. Maybe that's all they want. Maybe that's all they want.
So that's not Freaknik. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's not Freaknik. There has to be something else going on in them that would make them want to spend money on a female and not get that out of them. I'm just saying.
No,
that's not normal.
No, listen.
That's not normal.
Listen, I will agree.
I'm not going to normalize that.
Listen, I will agree with that. There definitely, for sure, is some people that are getting taken advantage of. But what I'm saying, though, is that's their decision. If there's a store where it's just way out of my price range, I should not be walking in that store. Why am I walking in that store for? And if I buy something, I feel like, damn, I just got scammed. I just spent $1,000 on it. I feel like I got ripped off. Okay, well, why did you walk in the store in the first place? That's your decision. Viewing public, look, man, at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know there's a lot of you people out there that use these apps. Also, is OnlyFans still on like the Apple product?
What? That?
I'm just trying to see if Apple's got a leg up on Samsung for something. What are your thoughts, man? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like.
The questions you're asking are so sus right now. Like
Gnosis. But here's the other thing. Look, because you're talking about, well, I'm talking about where these guys supposed to meet these women, or just women in general, right? One place they could go to McDonald's.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.